How easy should it be to repair your stuff? Let's say you buy a kettle and it breaks. Should it be easy for you to get a replacement part so you can fix it at home on your own? Are you someone that just says, I don't care, if something breaks, I'm just going to buy a new one anyways? The right to repair. There's a big back and forth, not just in Quebec, but all over the place, on the ability for consumers to repair the things that they buy. Now, starting on October 5th, retailers and manufacturers in Quebec will be required to provide consumers with clear information about the repair and maintenance of products they sell. It's an expansion to the province's Consumer Protection Act. It should be noted, there's been obligations on repairing your goods and replacement parts since 1978, but there's now a further enforcement and expansion here that's going to happen October 5th. Retailers are sounding the alarm as they deem these new rules impossible to comply with. Let's go to Michel Rochette, Quebec President for the Retail Council of Canada. Michel, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks for receiving me.
What's so impossible about these new rules? Why are they so hard to comply with?
Well, the idea at first was a good one, to help repairability. But the problem is the scope of products and the scope of obligations. Because what was described as the new obligations, it touched every kind of devices that contain more than two parts. So you include in this, a pair of scissors, a lighter, nail clippers. It goes up to that kind of products. And we ask the retailers to have the information regarding each and single piece of every product and give information about their capacity of having access to spare parts, to have access to reparation detail, and even to confirm that each of those parts can be repaired by a tool that is of a common usage as defined by the government. So you can imagine the scope of obligation that we have to comply with within the next 10 days in every kind of store.
So it does kind of sound, the way you describe it, is unbelievable. So the province expects every store in Quebec to just have all of these resources available. Like they themselves have to be like, oh yeah, here's how you replace it. Here, like you have to provide this for every single item.
Not only that, even a convenience store, a pharmacy, a big store, they all have the same obligation with any kind of products that have more than two pieces. So we talk about, just for one store, a Canadian Tire could have, 70,000 different products on their shelves. So you can imagine. So unless you can guarantee that 100% of each information for every product and every piece part and every tool is in your hand, if you don't have 100% of those information, you need to produce a paper unique to each product and give it to each customer at each moment they buy into your store, giving the detailed information about the spare parts that you have access or not, the reparation services that you have access or not, and even the tool. So, we still don't understand in what world could be, it could be possible to comply with such obligations.
What are the penalties if you're not complying?
Yeah, well, the basic penalties start at $3,500 per day per fault. So it can go very fast, very far, and very high. As soon as you go into a store and you see that there is no paper for each product, you can fill a complaint. So that's huge. It's just, and again, those new, if the law was adopted 2 years ago, the regulation giving all the details about those obligations were unveiled only this July, in the middle of the summer. And the final details from the Office of Consumer Protection was unveiled only two weeks ago. So it's big part of it.
Is there a compromise that you would see as reasonable? Whether it's the type of products that this applies to.
Yeah, at least the value of the product could be I don't know over $50 or more, or at least give us some more time to be sure that we fully understand the kind of obligation. Because again, the problem is we mix the role of a manufacturer and a retailer. And what the government asks to merchants and retailers is to have the understanding of the manufacturers of each product, which is a problem. So, or at least give us the chance to put information on our websites. But that the government changed their mind during the summer, saying, no, a website is not enough. You need to give the document to each customer each time they buy something in your store for each product.
Okay, we're with Michel Rochette, Quebec president for the Retail Council of Canada. We're talking about some new rules coming in force in Quebec on October 5th when it comes to when you buy items and access to information on how to repair them and how to repair them and how to get tools to repair them. Now, Michel, on that front, do you have to display this with every product in the store, or is it just on request when someone asks? How does that work?
It's an obligation. I mean, if you don't give it, a customer could complain. Could complain. So it's an obligation to give at every moment. For as soon as someone buys something, you need to give them a paper, unless you can guarantee that you have full access to pieces, repairability. And the tools are, the tools that would be used. So unless you have 100%, you are forced to give the information. Even if you sell online, you need now a disclaimer for each product confirming the same kind of information on your website. So, and the customer has to click on each time to say, well, I know now that they don't have information on this, and they don't have any spare part on that. Again, on any kind of products.
Could you see retailers either shutting down because they can't comply, don't want to comply?
It's just impossible to comply with this. I mean, it's not logistically possible and legally possible. First, to find all those information and be sure of that. And secondly, to print all those information saying, well, no, I don't have the information. I know you go too far. But as soon as you confirm that you don't have all detail, well, no, you need to produce some papers, thousands of papers in each course, which is crazy, obviously.
Let me ask you, because we're not we're used to it. Like English people in Quebec are used to going to a retailer's website and we see the disclaimer: this product cannot ship to Quebec, right? Like we've seen that before many times, right? Do you think that could make that situation worse? Not for language reasons, but because the rules are so tough that maybe online retailers say, no, we can't comply and won't ship to Quebec?
Exactly. I mean, this is the same problem that we have with every kind of rule that we have here that are too complicated. I mean, you can find that online everywhere, and you can have delivered to your place and within a few days, if not the day after. So each time they add a rule, we ask the government, can you make sure that everybody has the same kind of obligation? Of course they cannot. So we just push retailers away and asking them, well, quit Quebec and just sell online from outside. That's the only way.
So can I just ask you, Michel, to wrap up, is there another part of the world, another part of Canada, U.S., around the world, where they've got a legislation that, is
not even close to this.
Not even close.
The only place that did something interesting is in France. They created an indication, repairability quote. So you have as a manufacturer, you have to confirm in France that your products can be easily or not easily repaired, but that's it. Uh-huh. So now, the kind of obligation in Quebec is unique in the world. There's no place around at all.
Michel, listen, we'll leave it there. We'll be keeping track of this situation ahead of October 5th. Do keep in touch if you get any updates, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, that's Michel Rochette, the Quebec president of the Retail Council of Canada.
I'm Dylan Playfair.
And I'm Tyler Smith.
We're putting loneliness in the penalty box by talking to some of our favorite athletes about the importance of friendship.
This is Bromance.
Bromance is brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, proudly Canadian-owned and operated. Charm has been part of your love stories and bromances for over 50 years.
And you can find Bromance on the iHeartRadio network or wherever you get your podcasts.